Hello again to all you YouTube lovers out there in YouTube land. My name is John Anelli, and today I've got a review for you, but this time we are going to look at a bourbon whiskey, specifically a bonded bourbon whiskey. This is Jim Beam Bonded. Now, Jim Beam has been around since 1795 officially. Uh, And this particular Jim Beam product is their bonded bourbon whiskey. So, in order to be a bonded whiskey, the product must adhere to the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897. And in order to do so, the product must be 100 proof, at least 4 years old, and it has to be produced in a single distilling season at a single distillery. So, a lot of whiskeys, are getting away from the bonded label nowadays, but it's kind of a big deal. It's an assurance of quality. You're not going to buy a bonded whiskey and get an inferior product because this product is regulated by the government. It's produced under strict government supervision. So you always know that you're going to get a quality product. And the good thing about these types of whiskeys is they're always going to be 100 proof. And if you're a big whiskey drinker, but say you don't like the 100 proof products, if they're a little bit too strong for you, then you can dilute them with water to your ideal proof, which I think is pretty cool. A lot of people may think that 100 proof is just a little too strong. So get you a little droplet, get some nice distilled water, and put you a few drops in there, and take some sips and get it down to the proof that you want it to be, and you can't go wrong with that. So anyway, and this is the older label, the older bottle, older label. Jim Beam has kind of gone to a little bit smaller, wider bottle with some cool ridging going around the top of the rim there. But this is kind of an old school bottle, which I like. You've got the Jim Beam family there on the side of the label, which is pretty cool. And of course, with all bonded whiskey, you've got that little seal on there to signify that it is a bottled in bond product. You can see that bottled in bond. So anyway, I've already poured it. I'm gonna get right into it. Drinking it out of my Glencairn glass here, which is a great glass designed specifically for whiskey drinking. So as you may be able to see here, the color is very, very nice. We're looking at a copper to amber. It's more on the copper side, I believe, on the color. Um, it's got some really nice alcohol legs going down the glass there, which is really nice. A friend of mine told me that alcohol legs are very good. The more alcohol legs you have, the better, because a lot of times with the alcohol legs, the more pronounced that the alcohol legs are, it means that the product is a little bit more oily and has more going for it. When you age in these charred oak barrels, a lot of times um, the thickness of the char, the longevity or the length of time that the whiskey is aging in the barrels will add to the alcohol legs. So when you have more alcohol legs, it usually means that you're getting a more complex product because the product has been aged longer, and it has absorbed more of the qualities from the oak, as well as just being a little bit what am I trying to say? I don't know. I guess typically alcohol eggs, the more pronounced they are, the better. That may or may not be true, but that's what I've always heard, and I tend to agree with the products that I've had, the whiskeys that I've had with better alcohol legs tend to be better products. This one smells amazing. Oh man, you get mm, some toffee, some caramel, maybe a little butterscotch in there. The alcohol is hidden well. I mean, you definitely get a little burn in the nostrils from the alcohol, but it's not like a alcohol distillates type smell that you get with some of the Canadian blended whiskeys, and the unaged, or the products that are not aged in charred oak barrels. A lot of times the alcohol is at the front of the aroma, whereas this is definitely not alcohol forward in the aroma. It burns the nostrils, but you definitely get a full, nice aroma. I mean, it just smells like candy for adults. It just smells so pleasant. The Evan Williams bonded white label had a little banana thing going. I don't really get that with this one. You get some of the oak, the charred oak in there. Maybe some light vanilla notes from the aging in the charred oak barrels. God, it just smells so good. So I'm going to get right into this, guys. Cheers. Mm. Charred oak in the best possible way up front with a little vanilla sweetness to balance it out. You get the coffee, not the coffee, you get the toffee caramel notes in the middle of the palate. Oh man, this is so pleasant. 100 proof, goes down really smoothly. I don't really recommend putting ice cubes in whiskey. I think if you want to dilute it a little bit to get the alcohol down, use a dropper, or just pour a little bit of water in there yourself, but be careful with it because you don't want to add too much. Um, but yeah, I mean, God, this is so good as is. If it is too strong for you, by all means, dilute it a little bit. And a lot of people say that when you put water in whiskey, it kind of brings out a little bit more on the aroma that you don't necessarily get. But I don't like to dilute my whiskey. I like the full effect here, and I am enjoying it so much. That caramel sweetness is really starting to develop as this whiskey is opening up a little bit in the glass. Just super pleasant, super enjoyable. Jim Beam has a long history and they've made very fine products throughout the years. I have had the Jim Beam Black Extra Age, which actually won a gold medal at the International Wine and Spirits Competition in 2016. That is a delightful product. This is also a delightful product. If you've never had it, I recommend that you try it. If you like whiskey, if you've had some other bottled and bond whiskeys, I think you'll really enjoy it. If you like the old Granddad bonded, if you like the Evan Williams white label bonded, um, if you like bottled and bond type products, I think you'll really like this one. It's definitely very well made, well crafted product that has a lot of history. It's been around for a long time. You know you're getting quality with a bottled and bond type product because they have very strict regulations as to how these products are distilled and manufactured. So you definitely get your money's worth from a quality standpoint. I believe this bottle cost me $28.99 before tax. It may have been on sale because they had the newer bottles that had come in, and I think maybe they were trying to get rid of some of these older label, older, thicker, bigger glass bottles. But this is definitely a quality product. I highly recommend that you try it. For whiskey overall, this one is an A. It's definitely an A product. I'm going to give it a 94 out of 100, and that's only because I think that I prefer the Evan Williams White Label to this, as well as the Old Grandad bottled in bond. But this is definitely an excellent, excellent product. It is so smooth at 100 proof. It has those really robust, rich caramel toffee flavors. Um, the charred oak presence really comes through on the taste. It finishes nicely. It doesn't linger too much, so it definitely is inviting in that sense because you can go in for another sip quite um, quickly after you take a sip. You know, the initial sip. It's very inviting. So an A bonded bourbon whiskey, and that'll do it for this review, guys. This is my first whiskey review on my own channel, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be doing some more of these in the near future, as well as some hangouts, examinations of different whiskeys on Ronald Terrio, uh, Ronald Terrio's channel, which he's most known, I guess, for his Louisiana beer reviews, but he does great reviews and taste challenges with different whiskeys. So highly recommend that you guys check out his channel as well as the Whiskey Scout. Robert is a great guy, and he does a much better job than I do. I've got to kind of get used to doing the whole whiskey thing, I guess. There's just so much complexity with whiskey, especially good whiskey like this one here. So hopefully, I will be able to, um, you know, condense and make these type of things, make these videos better in the future. But this is what you're getting for the first one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, cheers.